Thank you all for tuning in to Running Recaps Podcast. I am your host, Carolyn. And remember, everything I say on this show is strictly entertainment purposes only, nothing more, nothing less. You know, one of the things I want to briefly talk about today was the situation that's going on with GloRilla, the rapper that's under CMG, which is Yo Gotti label out of Memphis, and her sister, Victoria. I've been thinking a lot about this situation, and I'm going to play a couple clips. And I want you to just listen to this.
Let's start with just your grievance that you feel that your sister has an obligation to share the wealth.
Hey, yeah, she got an obligation to share the wealth. We stay here, we struggle together. Took baths and bottles of water, wrist brooches, all that. Yeah, she obligated. She's not doing nothing. 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 She's not doing nothing for family. At all.
And then I want you to listen to this.
She do little oohs and ahs for our parents or whatever, but barely nothing because my mama still clocking the clock at FedEx. No, she don't want to work. Gloria got y'all believing this fake ass, imaginary ass thing where she retired them. No, she did.
And then I want you to listen to this.
How did your parents come up with that name?
So I got my grandma, daddy's side name. That's her name. And you know, my mama never really explained to me where hallelujah came from. She just, I guess she was feeling blessed. And I was her 8th child. She said 8 is what kind of number is 8? 8 some type of number. And so all my
10?
dad, yeah. My mama got 10 kids. Hey, all my brothers, like, they got the same middle name. And all my sisters got the same middle name. Like, all my brothers got my daddy's middle name, which is Carmichael. All my sisters' middle name is Nicole. I'm the only one whose middle name is Hallelujah.
Yeah, well, you different. You special, huh? So you that chosen one. You that chosen one.
Yeah.
When we listen to what is going on between GloRilla and her sister, Victoria, we listen to it for entertainment purposes. You know, we like, they're so crazy, it's funny and blah, blah, right? But really, in my opinion, when I look at it a little deeper. And the reason I'm saying that is because even though for us it's entertaining, there's really a little deeper lining there, in my opinion, because oftentimes when you have sisters or brothers or siblings going at each other like that, it's from a deeper place, right? My understanding is I thought that they were, you know, had a decent relationship growing up in life. From what I've been hearing, you know, the sister Victoria, she's been known to have a little spark and be more vocal. She even stated it herself, right? And I'll let you hear it in this video.
Why does she owe it to you to support you and to support the family beyond what she wants to do? It's her money, right?
Because don't go on no interviews, talk about our struggle. You want to do that. That's not right. You don't sit here and talk about struggles, sit here and struggle with. It's not one sibling, you got 9 other siblings. I got 2 siblings staying down there in Atlanta with her that she treat them like housemaids.
Oftentimes, when people come up and they start saying and behaving as such, there's an underlying issue there that we are not privy to. And as you all know, there were 10 siblings that they grew up with, right? And it was the mom and dad. And they were working class people. And like most families, if you have that many mouths to feed, hey, some days you got to stretch it. You even have to do that when you don't have 10 children. You know, you try to do the best. You know, they were talking about roaches and things like that in the house, and they were sharing food. And sometimes the food wasn't really what they wanted, but it was what they had. And my thing is, you know, when we look at it from the outside, we was like, dang, parents should have done better, right? But at the time, they did the best they could. That no one was homeless. They weren't in foster care. They kept all their children together. Now, the thing is, a lot of people have been saying, okay, because GloRilla made it out, she does not have to go back and do anything for her siblings. And we all can agree on that. She does not have to go back and do anything for anybody, her parents included, if you keep it 100. But should she go back and do things for her parents and her siblings? From her mother speaking And I've heard her mom speak.
Oh, she called. This is. Then it's the last. I wasn't gonna get on here and say nothing. I've been leaving it alone. But like I said, you didn't put my mama in it. My mama ain't got nothing to do with it. Ain't put my other folks in it. You can't even. Anyways, Mom. How much? Oh.
Hello?
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. So how much? Toya said she sent you $1,300 today. How much money did she owe you already? Did she borrow?
Victoria owed me $1,200.
She already owed you $1,200, right? That she be borrowing every chance she get, right?
Right.
She should have gave you double that. Since she getting this little money to go spread lies, she could have gave you double that, right?
Right.
We ain't gonna disclose what I give you in exact dollar amount. But what happened every month, Mom? What happens every month since I've been famous?
You pay my rent, and I know a lot of people were talking about you buying me a house. I didn't want you to buy me a house. I didn't want to buy a house at this age.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I didn't want at my age. I wanted to rent because you were having me travel all over the place. So
her mom says she does well by her, and so does her dad. Her dad stated he loves all his children. All his children, I'm sure, are different. But from seeing a couple brothers online and this sister, I can agree, and I think we all can agree that it was probably a little rough upbringing. For my thing is they were homeschooled, they were kind of concealed children, and that type thing, right? But also what happens within families sometimes is that, and it builds up a little frustration, a little resentment between siblings. Like in our own culture, we all have things like, I don't know if you all can attest, but we, like say for instance, that you have a family, right? Same mom, same dad. But some siblings pick up from auntie way back down the DNA spectrum and maybe a darker complected sister or brother. And then you have another sister, same mom and dad, but they may be a little more fair skinned, like brighter as we call it, not as darker complected, right? Sometimes within families, we feel as if the lighter skinned child has more preferential treatment because we, feel, or at least I know back in the times when I was growing up, when people were, or your children were lighter skinned, a lot of times you hear within families, people think that they're prettier children. They seem to be treated a little differently. But a lot of times it happens in families where people, you can see within other family members that they treat siblings different when they look different. They think for some reason lighter or brighter is prettier. And to me, I don't agree with that because I feel like being African American or American or whatever you want to consider yourself, our skin is beautiful and it's a lot of variation to it. That's what makes us all unique and special. Now, GloRilla's sister, Victoria, is trying to find her way out. I guess she feels, from what I'm hearing, that GloRilla didn't look out like she would have liked her to look out. But now, if she has been behaving the way that she has been heard behaving, I can see why. Because it's a difference when people think that you have to do something and when you just do it because you want to, if that makes any sense. I remember Clarissa, and I love myself some Clarissa. And as a matter of fact, she made a statement, and I'm going to put this up. Okay, and you see, basically, Clarissa probably has had some of the same experiences GloRilla is experiencing now. Whereas people, you feel like the more you do, the more people want you to do. I don't even care if you're not rich. If you're doing okay in the family and you have a few coins, people always want more and more and more. They feel like your decisions and the point that you're doing well automatically should transpire and be their goodwill. And from what I remember, I heard Clarissa one time saying, people don't appreciate what you do, how much you do, and all of that. You do it from your heart. They want to become you. it's not good enough that you are helping out, taking care of the children, doing all of this stuff. They want you to keep giving, and they feel as if your money is their money, and that's far from the truth. You know, God blesses people differently. I mean, and like right now, Victoria, which is GloRilla's sister, felt as if she done found a way to kind of come up on her coin. Where people were saying, no, GloRilla don't have to do anything. And she very well doesn't. But her sister, she's feeling like, okay, well, she don't have to do nothing, and I'm gonna get out here and make my coins on my own, off her back, putting that family experience out there. Now, I think it was a little rough with her making the negative point she was making about her family, but you know, oftentimes when these rappers or people who are moving around doing better, they want to act like they got it from the mud. They want to talk about their struggle and things of that nature. And maybe she felt as if, okay, you talking about how we were and how you came up. Now I'm gonna use that same philosophy and I'm gonna get it and come up. Is Victoria wrong for that? Is she wrong for using GloRilla's name and how they were raised and what they had and did not have? What do y'all think? I think to an extent you have to learn how to keep certain things private, but she probably is at a point where she is tired of struggling and she is tired of busting her butt, and it seems like everybody's on GloRilla and how well she's doing. She probably wanting her own coins, and now she done found the end. She's gonna exploit it, and she's gonna keep on doing it. And they got another brother. He's called the Sixth Brother. I don't know what his name is. I don't even remember, but he's making videos about them. You know, they were stating that, you know, GloRilla had her mom come on there and say those things, and it wasn't true. I mean, we don't know. We just on the outside looking in. But my thing is, even though I feel like it's entertaining to us, there's a little deeper issues at this, you know, that's going on. And sometimes things even step up to the next level. People get to throwing blows, even though they are siblings. So I kind of get where Victoria is coming from. If your sibling is doing well and you doing bad, now if you're doing okay, but just not as good as the sister that's came out, then I ain't gotta make us equal. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, if you got a sibling that's struggling and need a little help up to try to get on their feet, if you are rich, no, you don't have to do it. But the right thing is to do it. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, you would expect the same thing. But I do think the way that the sister is doing it, the way that the sister, Victoria, is doing it, like her dad said, she need to be jacked up. That's just to put it cute, because he said something else. Because you don't put your family and throw your family out like that. Now, I don't know. But tell me what you guys think. Do you think that Victoria is doing team too much? She needs to sit it down and take several seats? Or you think she good? I mean, she can make her money since she don't have to ask her sister for a dime. Because GloRilla made a point. I'm not giving you a dime.
I said no to giving my sister Victoria $2,500, and that's when all the lies started. I posted the text my mom sent me. They're not fake. My mom wrote them herself. That's the truth. My mom knows better than anyone how much I've done for this family, and she thanks me for it all the time. For my sister to question those texts and ask for dates and timestamps just shows she doesn't want the truth. She wants attention, and she's willing to lie to get it. After I made it, I bought my parents a house and bought my dad a Jaguar. That's all out there and easy to check. My cousin Lena Harris has already spoken up and said I personally offered her a job as my assistant. As for my mom still working at FedEx, that's her choice. I've asked her to retire, and I send her money every month and help with the bills. I've never forgotten my family, all 10 of my siblings included. I've always done what I can to help them. My sister keeps saying I don't help the family, but what she calls asking for help is really nonstop asking for money. She took one time I said no and turned it into this whole story that I don't care about my family. I'm not an ATM, and I'm not letting anyone guilt trip me anymore.
She feel like since GloRilla not gonna give her a dime, she gonna go hard. Why she got it? Why she in the limelight? She got everybody attention. She gonna exploit it, and she gonna make her own coins. She gonna interview. She gonna do all the things she do, because you think about it, the money she's probably getting from interviewing, she wouldn't make on a regular job. You know what I mean? So she felt like it's time to get up and get going. So that's what she's doing. She's traveling, she's doing interviews, she's going on shows, she's doing appearances, walkthrough. That's what type of world we live in. You know, like if you go on if you have a platform and you talking strictly politics or strictly church, just try to keep it straight and narrow, you won't hardly get no views. But if you get out here and you going all the way in and you know, giving people what they need, because that's the only thing that's going to make money. You got to be entertaining. You got to go against the grain, because if you don't go against the grain, you ain't gonna make no moolah. So Victoria figured that much out. If I want to get my coins, she ain't gonna give me nothing, I'm going to make it do what it do. And you know what? I can't blame her. But I do think she need to curve it down. Now she got her audience and she got her own thing going. GloRilla say she ain't getting 10 cents out of her. Then girl gonna do what she gotta do to make her money. But I do think she need to trim it back. Not to mention, what I don't get, when people make money, why they gotta show it all online? All these rappers do that, and these people that finally get money who not used to money and things like that. You don't put your stuff out there. You don't put them, because these jack boys be coming. They be coming. And she a little light. So she might wanna, don't do it, because they come and they do a sneak attack. They don't do it straight up in your face for you to defend yourself most times. So my biggest thing is that I'm just praying that they both stay protected. I hate that this happens in families, but it happens a lot. It just happens to be GloRilla, and she's a celebrity, and we're hearing about it. But like I said, also Clarissa had a problem with it. In our families, it happens a lot because we don't have the funds like we would want to be successful. And trying to do things the right way and moving forward is good. But sometimes people get caught. They think that they just in a circle, they digging themselves deeper and deeper. The more they do, the less they get. So they be trying to find that big one, that big up. And you know, maybe she feel as if Victoria feel as if what she got going out is it for her. Do you think that Victoria, GloRilla's sister, need to sit down and hush? You think she can get in and get her money while she can? And do you think GloRilla should do more? You know, you can't spend anyone else's money. That's what you cannot do. But you try to, you know, hope that people do right by you if need be. You know, her sister, you know, on this other hand, got to get out and make things happen. Make her own money. She can't depend on GloRilla's money. One thing you cannot do is depend on somebody else's coins. You just can't do it, because you're going to find every day of your life mad. So anyway, just want to come and talk about it. Get an understanding that a lot of times when things like this are going on and played out in public, there are other dynamics down within that's really the problem. What we're hearing is the surface stuff, but going down and deep in, sometimes it be other stuff going on, and people become jealous, and they do have an inner resentment there that sometimes people don't know about, because it kind of seems like a little sibling rivalry when they're growing up, when it's really, you know, a little resentment towards that person. So drop a comment, make sure you like and share, click the bell for notifications, and let me know what y'all thinking.